exception handling in the Python is within the try except. The more interesting name is Java. They though developed it later in 1991 onwards. They give you the try catch block. That it's an exception. It throws it here and it will catch. It will catch it here. If it fail it, in except handling there. In Python, instead of catch, they name it. If the exception comes, except that exception, I can make it. If it's not handled by that except, by this except, but this is a third except, so I can number up except clauses. This is the exception class object. Exception class already defined, and you can create your own exception class from the basic exception class also, and you can throw the exception. So this is basically the exception handling in all modern day languages. Today we'll be discussing the exception handling in Python. And exception handling in the modern day, all programming languages are there. In Python, Java, and also it starts from C++. C++ is developed around around 1983-84, and then comes Python 89, 90, 91, Java 91 later. So Python more or less copied or enhanced the exception handling of C++. Only difference is the C is the object can be primitive, but Python everything is an object. We'll go into details. Exception handling, it can be done by try, except, else, finally block, and this is the exception handling object. We'll go in details, and this is mode class definition, and we'll get everything in the traceback by the debugging. We'll see that. The handling between the exception handling modern day in all languages, C is developed 60s, so exception handling not there, only with the return 0. 0 is when everything was okay, and 1, 2, 3, return 1, 2, 3, we can say is different error like file error or any other type of error, array out of index error. Those you have to return it, and the program is to stop there and get out. This is not a good thing for a modern day programming language, because you have to make a system which is robust. So C++ tried this by try catch block, but no finally block is there. And then comes the Python and Java. And but the difference between Java and Python is Java is more elaborate exception handling before the running also. Before the running, so it has to be program has to be very verbose. In Python, the program need not be, because main objective of Python is the less code, around 1/3 or half of length of a Java code. So that's the thing. And Java exception handling is can be done before running also. For Python, everything exception handling at runtime, like C++. C++ differences is can be primitive object, can be exception, but Python everything is an object we know. And C#, Java is more or less same, and Go, Rust, the modern day languages, all exception handlings are there. So this is the when in Python, the exception is program is facing exception, though it will give the program name at which line number in which module and the which type of exception. Every exception has an error, what kind of exception it is there, and it will come 0 division here. So that is it will come 0 division error. This is the block. The interestingly, which C++ doesn't have, is a finally block. It is also available in Java. That finally block, everything has to be executed through finally block. So if you want to close any open files and everything, we can do it here. And these are the except various. In Java, it is by try catch block, and it is here the try except. And try catch block is more interesting to hear, but everything does the same. This is else command, no except the else command, and finally has to be executed. Same thing here, if the exception happens here, it come out here, so this will not be executed, the finally block will be done. These are the, everything is an object like Java, Python is object, and the base exception is a type of class of the base exception. We'll get it more clear here. The base exception is system exception, keyboard exception. Another good thing is a programmer can create a class of the exception class. We'll see it in our program. We can create an exception class. You can throw an exception, and you can accept it or catch it in the Java programming term. So these are the various type of exception. This is more or same with Java and Shisha. This is the here we have a list where we have three objects, 0th one, and nothing is problem. But if we make it a range equal to 4, then it will definitely raise an exception. And where his index is out of range. This I've explained, and there I can create a my custom error, I class, and the exception class. We can see it here, and this is the constructor, because constructor we know the class constructor underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and this is the message like, and we can now raise the exception. This is exception handling, and if we run this, this is a custom error message, because it will try block, it will raise this and automatically the print the exception. Here the same, the divide by 0 will come, caught an exception, invalid return, or like this. Here also same, cannot divide by 0. One good thing is exception handling, you can create your own print messages. So sometimes the Python's message is neither good, so you can make more readable message. Here we can get it more information if we go for this command, import logging. Import logging is a more elaborate exception handling. It will create like traceback error, and it will show everything in better than traceback, more enhanced version of traceback. So better is import logging. If you just have to import a library, and that's it. Next we go, exception can be here. Here we can see that exception can be nested. Here we see within a try block, another try block, exception by 0, and it will caught division by 0, and again raise this, so it will come to the outer loop, and we can see it caught division by 0 and caught value error, then it will come a value error. Here we see a exception handling, like we expect a string from input, and then we want to concatenate string plus number without casting it the number to string. So that there is a value error. We can check it. So first you give a string, say ABC, enter. Then it expects a number. We'll take the number, say 7, and then that can only concatenate it because 7 is a number, so you cannot concatenate. So we have to convert this integer to string. So that is a type error and value error I see. So that is we can get it. This message will. Thank you for that. If you like this, you subscribe my channel.